Family, we continue to see the circus that is happening in the country as the captured courts of ZANU-PF continue to play the harlot with ZANU-PF. Very, very sad development that we are seeing in the country, not on account of Neville Mutsvangwa, but on account of a Zimbabwe that has a judiciary system that operates independently and that is just and fair. Neville Mutsvangwa's papers went missing in court. Just imagine. So we know that this is just a big game that ZANU-PF, Emmerson Mnangagwa, and the like are playing. This is not real. They are just fighting their battles. But our question is, why should the courts of Zimbabwe be also complicit to the issues that have to do with the internal fights of ZANU-PF? A very, very sad thing. This is what causes the country not to move forward. Because when the country continues to show to the whole world that it is a very lawless country, it begins to sell itself in bad light. The same thing that Mnangagwa is doing is what is causing Zimbabwe to continue in the doldrums that we find ourselves in. Very, very sad, very funny that you can hear a whole court saying that papers have gone missing. But this is all just a gimmick. It is just a plan that they are using to make sure that Neville Mutsvangwa continues to be incarcerated. You remember we've said it in the past show, and there is a show in which I was saying Mnangagwa right now is trying to send a strong message to all those that have been arrested, especially the change monies. And I said that because of that demonstration that he wants to do, how is Neville Mutsvangwa going to survive? You still remember I put a question on the topic of that very particular video where I said, is Neville Mutsvangwa going to survive it? Can we see that already it is beginning to manifest? We are seeing that they are already playing games. We are seeing that already Mnangagwa is trying to derail. He's trying to be a deliberate procrastinator so that the son of Chris Mutsvangwa continues to be incarcerated. There is a show that we did right on this platform again, family, where we were saying Mnangagwa's woes are far from over. Chris Mutsvangwa's woes and his family are far from over as Mnangagwa continues to show that he is still fighting. So this is a big, big drama and a very embarrassing one that we are seeing happening in the country. How can papers go missing? How can, do these officials of court don't check through the papers first before court session begins? How can you only realize it when you are in the midst of the process of court, that you realize that there are some papers that could be missing, so that probably these papers could have been sought before the court process begins? But all this is just a gimmick. This is just a big game. This is just a big drama. This is just, some funny excuse that Mnangagwa is trying to use the courts to do so as to keep this son of Chris Mutsvangwa and Monica Mutsvangwa longer and longer in prison. So we are seeing slowly that the appetite to release Chris Mutsvangwa's son doesn't seem to be on already in Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF. And very, very, very sad because, when we look at the situation on the ground, you remember the last time they were talking about the issue of the state failing to have a solid case against the son of Chris Mutsvangwa, but still it seems the granting of bail is not happening. And last time in the show, in one of the shows, remember, family, I said ZANU-PF is not there to prove a point. There is no case really. They are fighting their battles, and you will see that where now evidence is concretely needed for it to be presented on the table before the courts, they will still start to play games, because all that they are doing is fighting their factional wars. The war between Mnangagwa, the leadership, and Chris Mutsvangwa is far from over. As we have also heard in the previous days, we've also heard that there are some crimes that started to be coming up, which are also involving some insurance companies that were complicit to the crimes. So we are still watching to see how far it goes. But let me just play the video of the lawyers of Neville Mutsvangwa and what they said about the incident of the court where papers are said to have gone missing. And you can tell even from the way they speak, even from their reactions, that indeed they are seeing that this is just a very big, foolish game that is being played by ZANU PF. So let us just take a listen.
So what transpired in court today is that the ruling for State versus Neville Mutsvangwa was scheduled for today. Unfortunately, the honorable judge did not deliver a judgment. The reasons was that she didn't see the corrected record of proceedings from Rotondo Court, but we insisted as lawyers that we had filed the correct record. It was unfortunate that during that session, we could not prove because we had no access to the items. So the court then deferred the ruling to Monday next week. So dissatisfied with the proceedings that happened in court, we had to go back into the ICAM system to check that whether indeed we did not file the correct record. But fortunately, we only discovered that the correct record was in court.
You see now, you see what really is transpiring. So these are old cliches of tricks that ZANU PF is using. These are old tricks that have been seen. We have seen this being used a long time. Anyone that goes to court, there is always some funny, excuse. You still remember during the time of Hopewell in the Scala, I don't know whether it was Scala or Hopewell's case, where they were saying the magistrate has flu. And the other time they said, I think it was Scala's case, where they said the magistrate is on maternity leave. Do you really mean that the office of the magistrate cannot continue to operate because one magistrate has gone for maternity? Did they not know that somebody is going for maternity and whatever is happening in that office must be handed over to another magistrate? All these will be just gimmicks. And Mnangagwa will be just playing with the lives of other people. While, of course, we are not worried about their own fights in ZANU PF, but we are talking now when this applies to some individuals who are not connected to ZANU PF or who are innocent, and yet they can still have the same dirty tactics being, played on them and even their cases. And this really does not stand well for the position of the country, and it is a very bad reputation for the judiciary system of Zimbabwe and Zimbabwe as a whole. This is why we are now called a slum. These are things that are expected in the slums. I don't want to go to the slum issue because this is not a laughing matter. I don't want to start laughing. The other day I laughed about the slums. I laughed about the headphones that are being stolen from Parliament. But it's so disheartening to find that a whole system of justice has been turned to the dogs by Emmerson Mnangagwa. This is a sad development. The integrity of the courts, the integrity of the judges and the magistrates has been flushed down the drain. And these guys, like I have said in the past, it is going to be very difficult for these people to get employed anywhere else. They can only be employed in Zimbabwe, but not even in the new great Zimbabwe, because we are going to fire these judges, all of them. We are not going to even listen to them coming to say we are victimized, we're being threatened, and things like that. No, their records will just stop, wait there for them, and they need to simply answer for what they've done. Because these guys were supposed to just resign en masse. If ZANU PF is doing what, I'm twisting them in their profession and interfering with their judgments. So, very sad.
We had to seek audience with the judge and then clarify the matter. As we speak now, the matter has been clarified. The record was indeed filed, but unfortunately, the court had already postponed the matter to Monday. The court would not expedite the matter far better than that, and the matter was further delayed to Monday. Yes.
So this is it. So we are yet to see. These games are not going to end. They are unending. They will continue. So we are watching to see what other excuse is going to be there on Monday when the case comes into court. So we are looking at the games of ZANU PF. And it's not surprising. If Mnangagwa is not yet ready to release this young man, you will still hear another funny story coming up. We've had this happening many, many times. And family, this is why we are saying we don't have a leadership, we don't have a government, we don't have a judiciary system, we don't have protection, we don't have a police force in Zimbabwe. Everything is just a big game of ZANU-PF. Mnangagwa has simply turned Zimbabwe into his own tuck shop, where he just does what he wants at any time. Despite the fact that the issues at times are looking so stupid, he continues to go on, march on, and it's just portraying his stupidity and his foolishness. And this is just a big foolish move that we are seeing happening in the courts of Zimbabwe. And we can never expect to see investors coming into a country that is lawless like this, because they need to protect themselves, to protect their properties. Imagine if they are going to meet injustice in a country like this, which has courts that operate in the manner that we are seeing right now. The ZANU-PF forget that while they are fighting their own battles, this also is, portraying a very wrong picture of the nation and what we stand for as Zimbabwean people. So we really need freedom from ZANU-PF, from these thugs who are masquerading as leaders of our country. We need to continue to put pressure. We need to continue to fight and make sure that the freedom of the Zimbabwean people is observed. And it will definitely happen. As long as we are still here, we will continue to stand for what is right and put pressure until victory is certain. So let me just take one or two comments from the family. My sister Anna Mbayo, drama right there. Thank you so much. And last time, I don't know if you saw my comment, I commented on a late show and I was saying, I really appreciate you, my sister Anna, for posting quite a lot of some of the videos that we share on this platform. Your platform on X, I know it is really very, very vibrant. It is really working. You have quite a lot of followers, and you are actually spreading the gospel of the freedom of the Zimbabwean people. Thank you so much. Salute, salute, salute unto you, Chen Champion. Right, Joko Chibue says ED is not fit to be a president, just amateur president. Definitely, because this is just embarrassing. Very sad for our country. Conrad Mishonga said, Chatuva family, how are you? Thank you so much. We are doing good. We have let me look for a comment maybe that is talking about what we have here. Unity Guvia says Chaunojgara unokoa. Yes, these ones are but we are generally giving a comment on the idea of having such a court, representing Zimbabwe when it is just some kangaroo court. Regina Priest's family, we must pray. Our God is faithful. Definitely, God is faithful, and we are going to see things happening. We have a comment here that I wanted to put from Vena Badze. It says Chatufa chete chete rambai makatsika. Hai kutsika takatsika and atikudzokera sure. We will continue to fight the battle for freedom. The Zimbabwean people are going to be free, and a lot of good news are coming. In the coming days, I don't even know how I'm going to be presenting the shows to you, because I'm so excited about what is going to come, what is happening, the moves that are going to be taken towards the freedom of the Zimbabwean people. We have very good news coming, family. Very good news that is going to be exciting, and the news in Zimbabwe is going to take a twist because of what is going to be happening. As from a few days that are coming, a few weeks that are coming, I'll be coming to give you the updates. We'll be telling you what exactly is about to be happening. So I'm not going to preempt. I'm not going to say things prematurely. I will say things when the right time comes, when things are at the right time, at the right level. Then we will be coming to give you updates on what is going to be happening. Otherwise, thank you so much, family. I'm coming with more and more updates. We are crossing over after this very one. We are crossing over to the main channel, Chatufa Television Production, and I have quite a lot that I'm going to be bringing for you. So stay tuned. Don't go away. We have suffered for long. That's Poshi Yangnobe. Thank you so much. Indeed, we have. But God is in it. God is on the move. God is definitely going to deliver Zimbabwe's freedom as he has promised in this season. The season of change is now. The wind of change is blowing. Thank you so much, family. Thank you so much for subscribing, for liking and sharing. Let's push this channel. We want it to compete with the main channel. Let's subscribe for those that have not yet, right now, before even the end of the show, so that you don't forget. Just go to that button and press subscribe. Press the bell. You will continue to receive every notification whenever we are on air. So, family, remain blessed. Love you and love you lots. Let's meet on the main channel, Chatufa Television Production, in about 5 or so minutes. Thank you so much. You are blessed.